is talking about what you should consider when making a deck for Yu-Gi-Oh! And what to expect. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by saying that. Sorry, guys, I'm still tired. Um, okay, so when um when making a deck, you always have to use card high defense. You want to be able to out your opponent in just about everything, which is extremely hard to do if you don't know what you're doing. Like honestly, you can go into you can go and ask a friend for help, or if you have a particular deck in mind that you don't know about, like know anything about, you can actually um, net deck a deck, which is technically searching up the deck list and making the deck list based on exactly that deck. Um, but if you actually want to be original, you make your deck on your own. Thank you. Uh, Thank you to my girlfriend for always watching my videos. Um, but yeah, like if you're gonna net deck, you obviously you're more than likely gonna copy that person's entire deck. Um, but the main thing is if you actually know how to play and you know what you're doing, you're mainly gonna try to make your own deck. And when you make your own deck, you're like my friend Ruben always says, trial and error. You're gonna want to make your own deck. You're gonna want to make it the way that you want it, but yet you might mess up and you might make it a lot better. And based on the way that it plays and based on your hands, you will be able to determine, okay, I messed up, or okay, this actual deck is good. Um, Given my personal experience so far, I have messed up multiple times. There have been multiple times where I actually go mess up and then have to start from scratch all over again. And and like another thing you got to consider when making a deck, you also got to consider whether you're going to throw an engine into the deck or not. Sometimes you can throw an engine in, and based on that engine, the deck will run substantially better or way worse than it was before. An engine on you that you want to throw into a deck, and they tell you, oh, well, you can throw the engine into any deck. I'm here to tell you, no, you can't. Because it's not going to see that happen, and you want to know why? Because that does not exist. That engine does not go well, and that's the only thing that you find that matters in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. Though me personally, I just like playing because I like having fun. To me, it is fun playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's why I play. Um, but if you're going into a tournament, you always wanna make like extremely good decks that can top your opponents. But the more talked about ones are always always the ones that are like being talked about. Like you never ever hear of underrated decks, and my suggestion is try an underrated deck because until you start playing it, and then when support comes out for it, everyone wants to make it, or then like most likely no one wants to make it. I can give out an example like the Abyss Actors, which is a deck that I run, which I love so much. When the Abyss Actors were released, they were completely overlooked. Everyone was going nuts about the Destiny Soldiers and the Dark Lords, but no one paid attention to the Abyss Actors. Well, no one except for me. And then once I started playing the Abyss Actors, people were popping my back rows, and I was popping off on effect after effect, and then they were like, "This is bullshit! Like you can't do this." I'm like, dude, it's in the card effect. So it that goes to show, from my experience, you always want to try out underrated decks because underrated decks usually do have a lot of potential. um, but yeah, and of course, when making a deck, you always want to stay within the ban list unless you're actually a traditional player. Now, the difference between an advanced player and a traditional player: an advanced player will actually stay up to date with the ban list and will not run any banned cards whatsoever. Now, if you're a traditional player, you only run one of any banned card that you want to run, so it actually does, like, it kind of extends the limited list for you, which either way is okay for you. And I don't criticize, like, honestly, I don't criticize whatsoever. If you love, if you love playing, traditionally, that's your choice. Um, and there are some pretty good decks that you can make with traditional cards, like the Odd Eyes with Bumbaku and Kirin, which are two Magispector cards. You run those two cards, and you essentially can OTK your opponent in a good way. You could even run the Nightmare card that got banned. You can run any card that got banned, but only at one. So, but then again, a lot of people will hate on you because you um, play traditionally, which is not really that bad. I mean, I don't find it bad, but like a lot of people find it bad. I mean, me personally, I on certain decks I do play like at least one banned card, but I don't consider myself like a true traditional player. Like I kind of hop back and forth. Enough about me. But yeah, that's exactly what you want to look for in a deck. Um, Mainly, if you ever get a core version of a deck, you always want to search up um, a good version of the deck unless you know exactly what you're doing. If you know exactly what you're doing, you already have everything that you need, and you don't even need to go into anything else. That's how good it is. That's how good you would be. Um, but like if you don't know what you're doing, you would actually have to net deck and find everything that you need. And once you actually like figure out the total price of the deck, based on your budget, you will actually have a hard time. Legitimately, if you're only able to pull things from packs and you can't order things, which actually does kind of suck in a sense. Going in again to another thing, if you actually do intend on buying a deck off like online, your main bet is buy a core, then buy the singles that you want after that or you need for the deck, because when it comes to looking for decks online, sure they actually have like complete decks and whatnot, but the decks are crap. I hate dissing the internet, and I hate dissing people who sell their decks. But if they sell it on eBay or Amazon, more than likely their decks are crap, just flat out. And the reason being is because they expect you to actually already have everything you need, and that's not what happens. Like you very rarely ever have anything that you need. And upon getting what you need, you just spend more money on getting what you needed than um, and buying the actual complete deck rather than actually buying a complete deck and actually having everything you need in it already. So yeah, that's one part that actually sucks. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like the, if you like this tutorial, please leave a like and leave a comment down below what you think. Um, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date. And please keep an eye out on my video for tomorrow. My video for tomorrow will actually be me hand testing a the new version of my DDD Mythical Beasts, which will be debuting tomorrow. So that's all for now, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys tomorrow. God bless.